Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a squad review for this new squad that I ended up making. This is a squad from one of my viewers. His name is Rezub FIFA, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually going to search it up right now. It is Rezub FIFA. He sent me, it's not entirely the same squad because I couldn't afford some of the players. So you guys will see right off the bat. We have Szczesny, Manolas, Benatia, Cancelo, Dalbert, Paulinho, Talisca, Matuidi, Mbappe, Ben Yedder, and Promise. If you guys want to just pause the video just to see exactly what it is, you guys can do that. This team was a pretty decent team. I actually liked the general balance of it. Now, there are obviously a few things that are definitely missing. Now, again, the thing that some people need to understand is that it's hard to make a perfect team, right, when you don't have a lot of money in this game. So there's going to be certain players that people are going to see in my team. We're going to be like, oh, but Inception, why are you using this in your team? Why are you using this in the team? Didn't you say this? Didn't you say this? Like I said, you do the best you can under the circumstances that you're under with the chemistry styles that you can get or the chemistry links that you can get, right? So this team starts off with a 4-3-3. And what I did at first, right, is that Rezub uses tactics where it's very aggressive, right? So he has an aggressive style of play where his players in the box is set to the third highest it could be, and then his corners are set to the second highest that it can be, right? And that's a very aggressive style of play, and it just doesn't really fit my style at all. The one thing that I don't like the most is this aggressiveness that people have on the attack when they can catch me on the counter attack, right? So what I ended up doing was I tried out his variation of the formation, which is the 4-4-1-1. It was the second variation where I think it's like a center forward and a striker, so that you could tell the center forward to stay central or something. The instructions were to stay back while attacking on the fullbacks. The center mids, the two center mids, were to stay back while attacking and cover the center. And I think the left mid and the right mid is to get in behind, cut inside. It was get in behind, cut inside. And there may have been a third one, and I can't remember. And that was for both of the wingers. The reason why he says get in behind and cut inside is because he wants to utilize the finesse shots as much as possible. So that's why he does it. His striker was to stay central, get in behind, and stay forward. And then his cam, I believe, was just stay forward, but I could be mistaken. I tried those tactics out, and it didn't work for me, right? And it just goes to show you that I was like, you know what? I don't mind trying it out. The reason why I made the team wasn't only because I was going to try out his instructions and tactics. The reason why I made the team is because the team in general, right, has a good balance to it where if I don't like his variation of the formation, I could still switch to a 4-2-3-1. So that's what I ended up doing. I have a 4-2-3-1 bracket 2 with the left mids and right mids, and I was trying out the team that way, right? So Promise on the left, Mbappe on the right, Ben Yedder as a striker. I could switch Ben Yedder and Mbappe and see how that works. Inform Talisca, very good card, by the way, so I was very surprised that I liked him. As the cam worked out really nicely. Two CDMs in Matuidi and Paulinho. So right-footed on the left side, left-footed on the left side to block the finesse shots and to be able to do a long-range finesse shot, which you will actually see in a moment with Paulinho. The 4-2-3-1 just works out the best for me because, again, I don't like getting counterattacked. So my tactics look different. So my depth is on like a 3, my width is on like a 4, so that, you know, I don't concede wide passes that get behind my defense, and I have my CDMs in Paulinho and Matuidi that can hopefully defend that CDM area as best as possible. Few things that I noticed with the teams, okay? Dalbert is the cheaper alternative to Alexandro, and to be honest with you guys, the very obvious thing was that I definitely needed Alexandro in the team. His high work rates and his defensive positioning, his physical, his pace and stuff would definitely be better than Dalbert, because the thing that I noticed with Dalbert's card is that his lack of defensive awareness really screwed his card in a lot of moments. Now, is his pace good and his dribbling good? Sure, but the most important thing with your fullbacks is that they need to be smart against what people are doing. If I have 3 depth and my fullback is pushing up too much, or he's pushing back but then he stops because he wants to be on side, but the other guy will still be on side even if he stops, they have to have that defensive mentality where, you know, they still block the area like really well. I have Cancelo as a right back, and Cancelo as a right back is pretty good. He's out of position sometimes, only sometimes, right? But for the most part, he's definitely a better defender than Dalbert because his positioning most of the times is better. I have been using Mehdi Benatia and Manolas. Manolas is incredible. Mehdi Benatia I would like to change in the future to maybe Skriniar or something and then put Handanovic in the team. So if I get more money, maybe I'll do that or something. The midfield lineup with the two CDMs and the cam being Talisca. So Talisca being a cam is really nice because he's so tall, right? And he can reach for the ball. Here's the problem with Talisca though. His dribbling is really, really awful when the gameplay sucks. Because these 3 games you guys are watching right now, the games will look better than they're actually played. That's what people need to understand. When I'm playing on the Elgato, the games look better because I am compensating for what the game is not doing, right? So with Anderson Talisca, 6'3", obviously fantastic to have in the midfield. You want to have someone that can actually jump. Because you know when the goalkeepers, right, when they do their goal kick and it goes to midfield, right, it gets to the halfway line. Talisca has been winning the ball in the air for me a lot of times, and that's where like the meta really kicks in. That's where someone like Ruud Gullit would be a god as a cam, right? His agility and balance, again, when the gameplay really sucks, really, really noticeable, right? But still a good card to have because he has 74 strength while being a 6'3" player. He is 4-star, so you can shoot with his right foot or his left foot. He is a left-footed player, so if you're going to be going for those long-range finesse shots, he'll be very, very good at doing those as well, right? So with Talisca's card, he already has 82 finishing with 76 composure. So right off the bat, sniper. Don't even bother giving him the pace because you need to improve his composure because there's going to be moments where he's going to have to shoot the ball and he's going to have to do a good job at it, right? So 76 composure, upgrade that with a sniper card because you also want to be able to upgrade his agility and balance as well as his finishing. Because listen, here's the thing about giving Sniper to this card. When you give Sniper to Talisca, you don't have to improve his long shots and his shot power because they're already good, right? So when you give him a Sniper card, I don't believe that it increases this much, right? But +5 positioning, +15 finishing, +10 volleys, and +15 penalties. He is a minimum of 87 on all of his shooting stats with a Sniper card, right? Increasing his agility will help with his poor balance. So if you give him a +10 in agility, 88 to agility, with a +5 balance will help. And then he also gets that very, very important +5 composure stat, bringing him up to an 81 in composure. Very, very fun card to use. Absolutely loved using him, right? The thing that sucks about this card is that the only real card that you can use with him is Paulinho, because Paulinho gives him that triple link. So if you're using a 4-3-3, you genuinely only need to use Paulinho in your team, but Paulinho needs Brazilian links, right? I think he only needs one Brazilian link because he already has the triple link with Talisca. So in a 4-3-3 that I'm set up right now, he would only need one more link. So even if I put Marcelo in the team, it would work because I could put Marcelo, Varane, and then just Thibaut Courtois, Sergio Ramos, and then just rotate the team entirely, right? But Talisca, very fun card to use. I definitely recommend using him because his dribbling, like I said, is really bad in the bad gameplay. But the thing about Talisca is that even when he's playing in the bad gameplay, he's still pretty decent, right? In the good gameplay, he's pretty awesome because he's physically better than his stats suggest because it makes sense. He's 6'3" tall, right? So very, very good card to use. I've been using other cards too. The other cards, so I need to like minimize this so I can see. So other cards I've been using, Matuidi and Paulinho. So the problem with those two cards in the CDM position is that they're high work rates, right? I think Paulinho's high. I actually never checked to see if Paulinho's high, but I believe that he would be just because of how he generally plays. Yeah, see, work rates are very noticeable, right? I didn't even know that Paulinho was high, and it was just very noticeable that he was. Reason why Paulinho was so good as a CDM, right? Especially if you give him an anchor card where you increase his physical, his defending, and his pace. He has shooting stats, right? So again, in this video, you will see that I actually take a really good shot with Paulinho's right foot because he got himself into a good position to hit that finesse shot. Your CDMs should not only be focused around being a good CDM because there's going to be moments, especially in a 4-2-3-1 where your players are stay back while attacking, right? they will be on the edge of the 18-yard box. And if you can get into a good position to finesse shot with them, they're going to score a lot of goals for you, right? So it's important and vital for those things to be good. He's 5'11" with 90 jumping and 81 strength, 81 aggression. With the chemistry style of Anchor, it increases it even more. Very noticeable in the game. Having a player who's tall, I've been using, because I think Matuidi might not be that tall, but Matuidi's card, and again, guys, these are things you notice, right, in the game. Matuidi, 5'11", 84 jumping. Do you know how important that is to defend against near post corners? They're still overpowered, even if you stand the guys there, right? Even if you put Matuidi and Paulinho on those corners, people will still score because they're overpowered in general, right? I think that if you know that he's going to do that near post and you stand the player there in that general area, they should be able to defend against it, because that's, you know where it's going to go, and you still concede it. But Matuidi and Paulinho, similar things, right? 5'11" height, really good jumping, and that's very important to have in the midfield, because now instead of having Conte, who can't win any ball in the air, right? Of course, the defensive presence, Conte's defensive presence and general movement is fantastic. There's no doubt about that, right? You can feel that with agility and bounce, and Paulinho, left and right with him isn't that great, but he makes up for it with the height, the physical, defensive composure is 80 with good shooting, like decent passing in 84, 80 long passing. Like Paulinho has a very, very good card, right? Again, the reason why I put a right-footed player on the left side and a left-footed player on the right side is because of blocking finesse shots. They will stick in their strong foot, right, on the opposite side, and the finesse shots just outside the box, I need to be able to try to do a finesse shot with them too. So those types of things makes a huge difference for me personally, right? So that's the CDMs. The next one that we have is the back four. So the back four, Dalbert, as you guys know, didn't really like him too much. I need to upgrade to Alexandro at some point, right? Mehdi Benatia. Here's the thing that I've always mentioned to people, okay? Even if you give, and this is why I don't believe chemistry styles upgrade as much as they say that they do, even if you give a shadow to Mehdi Benatia, his pace does not feel like it is increased by that much. A player will always feel more like their base card stats than they will to their chemistry style. I do think that chemistry styles affect the card, but only slightly, because I felt it with using Hunter instead of Sniper on some of the cards, right? But it's a very small difference. It's not by a +10. There's just no way. And if it is by a +10, then something's broken, because it does not feel that way. Because Mehdi Benatia, right? If I search up Mehdi Benatia's card, Mehdi Benatia, I can't search up by Mehdi because I don't think they have it. Oh, they do, but it's Mehdi with a D first. That's why. So Mehdi Benatia's card, right, has 67 acceleration and 73 sprint speed. That is still noticeable on his card, even if I give him a shadow. A shadow is supposed to give him 82 acceleration and 83 sprint speed. You would notice that difference with the acceleration on sprint speed on your defender, but it just does not feel that way. So the reason why I give shadow to Mehdi Benatia is because he's already 6'2", right? I need to increase the pace because his pace is already really low, so I need to increase it as much as possible. Now, the thing that might make Mehdi Benatia's pace feel slower is the fact that he has 59 agility with 53 balance, right? But defensively, he's a very good card, but I definitely need someone better than him because he doesn't feel that great. That's just like a general consensus that I came to. Manolas. Manolas is a fantastic card. I'll show you why Manolas is a fantastic card. The only thing I noticed with Manolas' card that I didn't like is he's too laid back. I need medium high. Medium high is a good balance for me because medium high allows me to aggressively push someone that's about to go for the finesse shot. Why is Manolas' card better? Because he has 83 pace, 80 acceleration, 85 sprint speed with 68 agility, right? His balance is 59, noticeable, but you can't have everything to be perfect, right? I don't care that his shooting and his passing is awful. I need my center backs to be gods in the defensive area. That's the important thing. Would it be nice if he can shoot? Would it be nice if he was like a Team of the Year Sergio Ramos where, if the ball just lands to him in the box, he can shoot it? Sure, but it's not a situation that's going to happen to me often because it just doesn't, right? 82 strength, 86 aggression with his card. 86 jumping already, right? Chat, Skriniar, the only problem with me getting Skriniar is that Skriniar doesn't have jumping. And jumping is so important, man. You can't be 6'2" and not have jumping stats. You need the jumping stats, right? Because the jumping will increase the fact that your height is already pretty big, right? So Manolas, really liked using Manolas, and moving left and right with him is good because the balance that he has with his agility, sprint speed, and acceleration is fantastic. But I don't like his work rates being low-high. Low-high is too inviting for me, right? We have Cancelo and then Szczesny. Szczesny's generic. I'd obviously like to put Handanovic in the team instead of Szczesny. But Szczesny is just a cheap alternative to having like a decent goalkeeper in the game. He still makes the generic saves. I haven't seen him do anything incredibly stupid. Like, he just concedes goals that he probably should. But here's the thing, right? With the goalkeepers, you don't want to have a goalkeeper that concedes goals that, oh, well, you know, all the goals. No, you want to have the goalkeepers that would save those goals that would normally be goals. That's the important thing. Like, if you guys have ever had Thibaut Courtois or De Gea, they save those opportunities, and that's what separates them from the more generic type of players, right? Mbappe feels generic only because the gameplay was bad. But I know that if the gameplay was at least decent or the game felt normal, Mbappe would be a god because you can feel it with his card. But because of the delay and the sluggish feel, I couldn't dribble with him properly. But that goes for saying with any of the cards, right? But I know that Mbappe is good because I've tried him on draft and decent gameplay, and he's disgusting, right? So don't regret buying him for the 400k or so that he costed. Ben Yedder is a striker. So as you guys know with strikers, and the things that I've always mentioned to you guys is that, does it suck that Ben Yedder has no physical aspect or height to him up top? Yes, it does suck. But the thing about Ben Yedder's card, and I'm going to search this up for you guys because it's stuff that you notice in the game. It is really nice to have someone that has a 5-star weak foot, right? 5-star weak foot with 87 composure, 94 agility, 90 balance, 88 finishing. And if I slap a hunter on him, it increases his shot power, right, by a +10, and his finishing by a +5, and his pace to all the way that it can possibly be. And that's really nice for me personally, right? And to be honest, I might even still consider giving him a sniper, but I like that his acceleration and sprint speed is significantly better because he just feels like a good player on the ball. And he can actually pass it too. He has 80 short passing with 70 long passing, 85 curve. And I think the curve would go hand in hand with the finishing. You guys will notice that Ben Yedder in this game actually finishes very simple opportunities. And I like that. I like that he doesn't completely miss. He only completely missed an opportunity once because of the angle, right? A good angle, but it was because of a FIFA mechanic that he missed. Though I don't blame the players when they miss these FIFA mechanic misses, right? Which, I don't know, they're probably going to adjust in the next patch. Who knows, right? As a striker, I wish that he was at least 5'11 or 5'10. I wish he was, because he has no physical presence, which is noticeable. 60 strength, 58 aggression. Not ideal to have. That's why I'm considering either changing him with Mbappe, to put Mbappe on the striker position and Ben Yedder on the right, because it actually might work out better for me, right? But I just really like, because Ben Yedder also has a 5-star weak foot, so if I want to do those finesse shots, he could be really good at doing those too, right? Yeah, he's just a fantastic card to use, except for the height. I've been using Quincy Promes. Quincy Promes is the exact same type of situation as Mbappe and Ben Yedder. The reason why Quincy Promes played okay is because the gameplay sucked, right? But I've used the Quincy Promes before, and he is a very good card. Composure, obviously you got to give him a sniper card. I know that his acceleration is 89 and his sprint speed is 91, but when his composure is below 82, I think 82 is a bare minimum you need. When his composure is below 82, you 100% need to improve it, right? His finishing is 99 with a sniper card. His shot power is already 82 with 83 long shots. His finesse shots, they're okay. They're not that great. He missed a pretty easy one, but I think it's because I didn't use a time finesse, which I should definitely include into my gameplay, because I think it would definitely be beneficial to me. But he was okay. He wasn't too bad, right? And I think that's pretty much it in regards to the team. So again, I switched to a 4-2-3-1 bracket 2. It's the formation I use the most. The good thing about this formation, right, is that if I want to switch to a 4-1-2-1-2, I would be able to do that, right? Quincy Promes Mbappe as the strikers, or Ben Yedder and Mbappe as the strikers. Ben Yedder or Promes as the cam. CDM would be Matuidi. Not Matuidi. CDM would be Matuidi on the left side, or left center mid would be Matuidi on the left side, Paulinho in the center, and then Talisca on the right side, because that left foot's that left foot strike to cut in a finesse, beautiful, right? And then Matuidi on the left side just because it would make sense for that situation. Maybe I would put Talisca on the left side too, depends. But it's a team and a formation that I can rotate to different formations and it would still work, right? So that's the important thing when you're making squads. So that's it in regards to the review. I think the team is pretty good. I think that the balance between the back four and the CDMs isn't great because Paulinho and Matuidi is not medium high instead of them being high high. Medium high is a very, very huge noticeable difference this year. That's why I think if I ever get Patrick Vieira and I think Michael Ballack, I think Michael Ballack might be medium high too. Those two guys are just going to be so stupid good in this game. They're just going to be ridiculous, right? Hullet is the cam, obviously, because 5-star weak foot, good on the ball, good off the ball, just stupid card in general, so on and so forth, right? But the thing that I noticed, back four compared to the CDMs, too big of a gap between them. Obviously, people are going to say, oh, it's because your depth is on 3. You need your depth to be low in this game because the Y passes in behind your defense when your depth is higher is really overpowered because your fullbacks push out of position so often in this game. Like, they push up to allow people to make runs behind them. It's a weird mechanic this year, but it's how it generally works, right? So that's why I have my depth low, right? But I might consider changing it a little bit just to have more of a balance between the CDMs and the back four. But I just try to avoid those wide passes as much as possible. Like, one wide pass went by me because of Dalbert's poor positioning and poor defensive awareness, and it kind of screwed me over a little bit. So I didn't concede, but the guy definitely could have scored given the opportunity, right? So, but the attacking with the team is really fun to do, right? Ben Yedder being high work rates as well as moving with this really quickness makes him kind of more like a center forward than a striker. So because he's so fast in the ball and he can actually pass it, it's very nice to lay it off to the sides and stuff. Quincy Promes, I think, is high-medium work rates. I could be wrong. He's high-low work rates. High-low work rates is really noticeable on Promes, to be honest, because on that left side, it's kind of open in the defensive area. I prefer high or high-medium in that position for sure. Definitely miss Heung-min Son in that position because the high work rates. Like, I like Heung-min Son a lot in this game, right? But I had to sell the team because it just costed way too much for the value that I was getting, right? So, yeah, pretty decent team. I think Mbappe is probably high-medium. I could be wrong in saying that. I'm going to search it up right now. Okay, so yeah, Mbappe is definitely high-medium. Paulinho, Talisca's high-medium too, I believe. Talisca is definitely high-medium. There's no way that he's high. If he's high, I'll be surprised. Yeah, so he's high-medium too. So, yeah, it's a pretty decent team. The attacking is definitely better than the defending, but for the price value that you're getting the team at, the only reason why it costs so much is because of Mbappe. But Mbappe is a pretty integral part to the team for it to play well. You can put any French right wing that you want in that position and it would still work out for you, but for me personally, not necessarily an ideal situation. So I'm going to go ahead and go to some of the comments before we end the video because it's up to 28 minutes for this one. Let's see what else we got here. So I need to go through these types of videos that people ask for certain things. It's crazy because when I made the squad review video, a lot of people started sending me their squads on Twitter saying that they missed out on me reviewing their squads. Guys, if you guys send me generic EPL teams, Premier League teams, like, there's no point in me reviewing those because they're just generic teams, right? It's just, I feel like you're sending those teams to me just to get some sort of recognition, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no unique aspect to it. Like, this team that I just made, it's a Liga Santander, it's a Liga Santander, Serie A, and Chinese League hybrid. That's an interesting team to make because you can actually kind of see where things go where and what formations work with what in that team, what types of things you can change to. Like, it's interesting, but when you just give me a generic EPL team, I'm not going to always review those, right? Unless I get through the donations on stream, because if you want to donate enough to do it, then it makes sense, right? But on Twitter and stuff, like, EPL teams are just super generic, you know what I'm saying? There's not really a thought process to it. This isn't my team, the one that I'm reviewing right now. This is a team that a viewer sent me that ends up being a very good team, right? It's a really well thought out team. Because I can stay with the 4-3-3 and it would still work out because it's still full chemistry. So this is a unique team, right? These are the types of teams I expect to review. But you guys seem to have liked me reviewing your teams and saying, like, what would work and where and what situations, so on and so forth. But I'm not sure how often I'm going to be making those types of videos, right? So just take that into account. Who's better on FIFA, Griezmann or Aguero? I think Griezmann would be better than Aguero. I tried Griezmann. It sucks that he doesn't have the weak foot, but I just like that his pace is a little bit better and his dribbling on the ball just feels nice with his left foot, right? Cutting inside and finessing with Griezmann is really quick, right? Depending on the gameplay, obviously, but very, very noticeable. I would say Griezmann, but Aguero just, I don't know, man. Aguero just sucks. I don't know. I never liked Aguero in any FIFA except for maybe 15, and even in 15 I was like, oh, this Aguero is so annoying. Like, Aguero is just one of those cards for me. I don't know why he didn't really play well for me, but he's just like one of those cards for me. Mertens or Inform Ben Yedder? Man, that's weird because you're gonna put Mertens or Inform Ben Yedder. That's a weird comparison because you're talking about a French guy from the Liga Santander to a Belgian dude from the Serie A. So I don't know. I guess you're gonna make a team depending on which one you choose. I love Ben Yedder. His dribbling on the ball is so fast, except for the gameplay. I have to keep mentioning it because it's a big part of whether a card is good or bad, right? Like, there's cards that are not bad. It's just the gameplay is bad, and that's what makes them bad, right? But Ben Yedder, man, if the gameplay is decent, he's so fast at dribbling on the ball, and if he's your cam, he'll play that role really well. But Mertens, cheaper option, and also a very good card. So I'd probably go with Mertens just in regards to that, right? But Ben Yedder is also still a very good choice. But those are the questions I'm going to be answering from the comment section because this video is already kind of long as it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video for today. If you guys enjoyed it and you want to see more squad reviews in the future, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a thumbs up on it. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.